I'm Poppy, 30 years old, a senior marketing director living my best life in Pittsburgh. Tonight, I've driven 5 grueling hours from the glittering city to my small hometown of Willow Creek, Pennsylvania, for my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. My heart's pounding as I pull into the parking lot of La Bella Vita Trattoria, the fanciest spot this town's ever seen, all warm candlelight and the rich aroma of garlic and fresh pasta wafting through the air. Through the restaurant's wide windows, I see my family gathered around a table draped in white linen, laughing, clinking glasses. My parents, Evelyn and Henry, sit at the center, their smiles glowing. But then I spot my brother, Nolan Carver, 32, his arm slung casually around his wife, Lila. My stomach twists into a knot. We haven't spoken in months, not since our last blowout fight. When his words cut deeper than I'd ever admit, I take a deep breath, smooth my emerald green dress, and grip my purse tighter. Before starting this story, if you are listening from USA, please leave a comment with number 9. And if you are from another country, please leave the name of your lovely country. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to listen to more stories. Willow Creek, population 7,000, is the kind of place where everyone knows your business, where the same old diner and high school football field define your world. Growing up, I always felt like I didn't quite fit. My bedroom was a shrine to big cities Pittsburgh, Boston, Seattle, posters of skyscrapers taped to my walls, whispering promises of a life beyond the endless barley fields. I'd lie awake at night, dreaming of boardrooms and bright lights, while Nolan, my big brother, scoffed at my ambitions. "What's wrong with here?" he'd ask, gesturing to our parents' cozy split-level house, its front yard blooming with marigolds. Back then, we were thick as thieves. He'd taught me how to ride a bike, his hands steadying the handlebars, and scared off the kids who teased me for my braces. But things changed when I got into the University of Pittsburgh with a scholarship. While Mom and Dad hugged me, their eyes misty with pride, Nolan just shrugged. "Don't forget your roots," he said, his voice flat. That was the first crack in our bond, a fracture that's only grown wider. Now, standing outside La Bella Vita, I feel that old ache flare up. I've spent weeks preparing for this night, wanting to make it special for Mom and Dad. In my trunk, I've got gifts of framed vinyl of their wedding song for Mom, a first edition novel for Dad, and a sapphire necklace I know Mom will love. These aren't just presents, they're my way of saying I'm still part of this family. No matter how far I've gone, Pittsburgh has been my home for 8 years, a city that embraced me when Willow Creek couldn't. I've built a career at Pinnacle Marketing, leading a team of 6, landing deals that make headlines. My apartment in Shadyside, with its exposed brick and local art, feels like a sanctuary. My best friend, Nora Quinn, and my boyfriend, Julian Reed, a kind-hearted urban planner, get me in ways my family never tried to. But tonight, I'm here to bridge that gap, to prove I haven't abandoned them. The rain's coming down in soft sheets, blurring the neon sign of La Bella Vita. It's fitting. This storm, mirroring the churn in my chest. I love my parents fiercely. They worked hard, Dad at the steel mill, Mom as a librarian, to give us a good life. But Nolan, he's always seen my leaving as a betrayal, like I turned my back on them to chase some high-flying dream. Our last fight, over Christmas, left me raw. He'd called me a big shot who thinks she's too good for us, his words dripping with venom. I push the memory down, check my reflection in the car window hair in soft curls, makeup subtle but sharp, and step out into the drizzle. As I approach the heavy oak door, my heart's hammering. I want this night to be perfect, a chance to mend what's broken. But deep down, I'm bracing for a storm worse than the one outside. What's waiting for me inside? Will my family finally see me? Or will Nolan's bitterness ruin everything? Willow Creek, Pennsylvania, was my world growing up. A sleepy town of 7,000 souls where the rhythm of life pulsed to the hum of tractors and church bells. As a kid, I'd spend hours sprawled on my bedroom floor, flipping through magazines, dreaming of Pittsburgh's steel spires and bustling streets. My walls were a collage of cityscapes, a rebellion against the barley fields stretching beyond our front porch. Nolan, my brother, 2 years older, never got it. "This place is home," he'd say, kicking dirt off his boots, his hazel eyes narrowing like I'd betrayed some sacred pact. Back then, we were inseparable. He taught me to ride a bike, his hands steadying me as I wobbled down our gravel driveway. When the neighbor kids mocked my braces, he'd chase them off, promising to knock their teeth out. We'd sneak into the kitchen at midnight, giggling over stolen cookies, our whispers drowned out by the creak of the old house. Those memories sting now, sharp as a blade, because somewhere along the way, that bond broke, and I'm still picking up the pieces. The fracture started when I got into the University of Pittsburgh with a partial scholarship. I was 17, bursting with dreams of boardrooms and city lights. Mom and Dad threw me a party, their pride mingling with worry about me leaving. Nolan, though, just leaned against the wall, arms crossed, muttering, "Don't act like you're better than us when you're gone." His words hit like a punch, planting a seed of doubt I carried for years. Did chasing my dreams mean abandoning my family in Pittsburgh? I found my place. I graduated with honors, landed a job at Pinnacle Marketing, and climbed to senior director by 30. My shady side apartment, with its hardwood floors and local art, became my haven. But every trip back to Willow Creek felt like walking into a trap. Nolan's resentment grew, his jabs each time. "Big shot city girl." He'd sneer, like my success was a personal insult. I tried to bridge the gap, invited them to Pittsburgh, sent gifts for birthdays, but Nolan shut me out. "We don't need your fancy handouts," he texted once, after I offered to help with his struggling construction business. That hurt worse than anything, his rejection a slap across the miles. Last Christmas, things boiled over. We were at Mom and Dad's, the air thick with pine and tension. I'd just shared news of a promotion, my voice cautious but proud. Nolan shoved his chair back, his face red. "Must be nice. Elise, sitting in your air-conditioned office while I'm busting my ass in the dirt." I tried to explain my job wasn't easy. 16-hour days weren't glamorous, but he cut me off. "You left us behind, and now you flaunt it. You're not one of us anymore." The room went silent, Mom twisting her napkin, Dad staring at his plate. I left in tears, vowing never to let him make me feel small again. That fight haunts me tonight, standing outside La Bella Vita Trattoria, rain soaking my dress. I've poured my heart into gifts for Mom and Dad, a framed vinyl, a sapphire necklace, a rare book hoping to prove I'm still theirs. But Nolan's words echo, "You're not one of us." They burn, fueling a rage I've buried too long. Why does my own brother hate me for wanting more? Why can't he see I never stopped loving them? I've spent years trying to understand his anger. Was it jealousy? Fear Nolan stayed in Willow Creek, married Lila, started a family, and took over a construction crew. I thought he was happy, rooted in the life he chose. But every call home, every visit, felt like a trial. Mom would skirt around his name. Dad would change the subject. I offered to help his business once, thinking my marketing skills could boost his contracts. His reply, a curt text, "Keep your city tricks to yourself." It's like he's built a wall, and I'm on the wrong side. Now, as I grip the restaurant's door handle, my heart races. I'm not just walking into a celebration, I'm stepping into a battlefield. Will Nolan's bitterness ruin this night? Or can I hold my ground? One thing's clear, I'm done letting him define me. The heavy oak door of La Bella Vita Trattoria swings shut behind me, sealing me into a world of clinking glasses and murmured laughter. My heels click against the polished hardwood floor as the hostess, a young woman with a practiced smile, leads me toward my family's table. The air is thick with the scent of roasted garlic and fresh basil, but it does nothing to ease the knot in my chest. I'm 30, a senior marketing director from Pittsburgh, here in Willow Creek to celebrate my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. 5 hours on the road, gifts tucked in my trunk, and a heart full of hope. That's what I brought tonight. But as I near the table, my eyes lock on Nolan, My brother, 32, his smirk sharp enough to cut glass. Mom, Evelyn, spots me first, her face lighting up before flickering with caution. Dad, Henry, half rises, his calloused hand raised in a hesitant wave. Elise, sweetheart, Mom calls, her voice too bright, like she's trying to outshine the tension. Before I can speak, Nolan leans back, his voice slicing through the warmth. Well, look who bothered to show. Sorry. Sis, this table's for real family only. He points to a dim corner where a lone table sits, small and pathetic, like an afterthought. The words hit like a slap, stealing my breath. My face burns as I stand frozen, the eyes of nearby diners prickling my skin. Lila, Nolan's wife, stifles a laugh behind her manicured hand, her diamond earrings glinting under the chandelier. Aunt Clara and Uncle George study their menus, avoiding my gaze. Cousins Lily and Ethan shift uncomfortably, their forks clinking against plates. Worst of all, Mom and Dad say nothing. Mom's fingers twist her napkin into knots. Dad clears his throat but stays silent. Rage surges through me, hot and bitter, mingling with a raw hurt I can't swallow. I don't get it, I stammer, my voice cracking despite my effort to stay composed. I drove 5 hours for you. Mom, Dad, this is your night. Nolan snorts, folding his arms. Yeah, right. You breeze in for one evening, expecting us to roll out the red carpet, then jet back to your fancy Pittsburgh life. We're the ones here every day. Elise, not you. Lila nods, her smile smug. We check on your parents 3 times a week. When's the last time you even showed up without some big occasion? The accusation stings, unfair and cruel. I call every Sunday. I fire back, looking at Mom and Dad. I invited you all to Pittsburgh last month, but you were too busy. Busy with real responsibilities, Nolan snaps. Not playing big shot in some skyscraper. The silence that follows is suffocating. A public execution of my place in this family. My chest tightens, the weight of their rejection crushing. I want to scream, to tell Nolan he's a jealous coward, but the words choke me. Instead, I force a nod, clutching what's left of my dignity. Fine, I say, my voice low but steady. I'll sit over there. The hostess, Tessa, her name tag glinting, offers a sympathetic glance. This way, ma'am, she murmurs, guiding me to the corner table. It's tucked against a wall, shadowed, far from the glow of my family's laughter. As I slide into the chair, their conversation resumes, a burst of chuckles slicing through me like a knife. Tessa lingers, her voice soft. I'm sorry. That was messed up. I manage a tight smile. Thanks. Can you get me a glass of red wine? Something strong. She nods and slips away, leaving me alone with my fury. I pull out my phone, my fingers trembling as I text Nora. My best friend in Pittsburgh. You won't believe this. Nolan just kicked me to a corner table. Says I'm not family enough. Her reply pings back instantly. What the hell, are you okay? Want me to drive down and knock some sense into him? Despite the ache. I smile faintly. Nora's fierce loyalty is a lifeline. But I can't leave, not yet. I came for Mom and Dad, not Nolan's approval. Still, the humiliation burns. Every laugh from their table feels like a fresh wound, their voices carrying across the room, oblivious to the daughter they've cast aside. I sip the wine Tessa brings, its bitter edge matching my mood. To hell with them, I think, my grip tightening on the glass. I order a bottle of champagne, $150, a reckless act of defiance. If I'm stuck in this corner, I'll damn well drink better than they do. But beneath the anger, a question gnaws. How did my own family become strangers? Will I walk away tonight or fight for my place among them? The dim corner of La Bella Vita Trattoria feels like a cage, the shadows swallowing my pride as I sit alone, nursing a glass of red wine. My family's laughter echoes from their table, a cruel reminder of the rejection I've just endured. Nolan's words, "This table's for real family," only still sear my heart. and the smug curl of Lila's lips fuels a rage I can barely contain. I'm 30, a senior marketing director from Pittsburgh, here in Willow Creek to honor my parents' 40th wedding anniversary. 5 hours of driving, gifts waiting in my trunk, and all I get is a pity table in the dark. The bottle of champagne, $150, sits chilling beside me, a defiant splurge against their dismissal. But as I watch Tessa, the server, weave through the crowded restaurant, a new storm brews. Nolan rises from the family table, the black leather billfolder in his hand, and strides toward me. His face, 32 years of resentment etched into it, holds a mix of entitlement and unease. My pulse spikes, anger simmering. He's about to make this night even worse, and I know it. "Elise," Nolan starts, his voice dripping with forced civility, stopping at my table's edge. "We need to talk about the bill." I set my wine glass down slowly, meeting his gaze over the rim, my jaw tight. "What about it?" I ask, keeping my tone even despite the fire in my chest. He shifts, glancing back at the table where Lila watches, her eyes gleaming. "It's bigger than we thought, $700. Since you're here for Mom and Dad's anniversary, we figured you'd chip in." The audacity hits me like a freight train. My fingers curl into fists, nails biting my palms. "You want me to pay for a table I wasn't allowed to join?" I say, my voice low, trembling with fury. Nolan huffs, rolling his eyes. "Don't make a scene. Elise, it's for their big night. You can afford it. Right, big city hotshot like you?" The condescension in his tone snaps something inside me. This isn't just about money, it's about years of being pushed out, belittled, treated like an outsider in my own family. I'm done. Without a word, I stand, smoothing my emerald green dress, and snatch the bill folder from his hand. His smirk falters, confusion flickering in his eyes. "Elise," what he starts. But I'm already moving, my heels clicking with purpose as I march to the family table. The chatter dies as I approach, faces turning Mom's eyes wide, Dad's brow furrowed, Lila's smile freezing. Aunt Clara clutches her napkin. Uncle George looks away. I place the folder on the table, opening it to reveal the $700 total. "Quite a party," I say, my voice calm but cutting, letting the number sink in. 3 bottles of $90 wine, a $100 appetizer spread, prime steaks all around. Lily, my cousin, flushes, muttering, "We didn't think it'd add up like that." "Clearly," I reply, my gaze sweeping the table, landing on Nolan. "You said everyone's splitting this, including me, even though I sat alone. Ate nothing, drank none of your wine." The silence is electric, charged with shame. I reach into my purse, pull out my black Amex card, a symbol of 8 years grinding in Pittsburgh, and place it on the bill. "I'm paying it. I declare," my voice steady, though my heart thunders. "The whole $700, consider it my gift to Mom and Dad." Gasps ripple around the table. "Elise, you can't," Uncle George stammers. "It's too much," Mom whispers, her eyes glistening. "I want to," I say, locking eyes with Dad, because that's what family does, shows up, even when it hurts. The words hang heavy, a rebuke to their silence. I turn to Tessa, who's hovering nearby. "Put my meal and champagne on this too. 1 check." She nods, taking the folder, her glance approving. "I've got something else," I say, stepping back. "Wait here." Nolan moves to follow, but I stop him cold. "I don't need your help." "Nolan, I never did." Outside, the rain has cleared, the air crisp. I open my trunk, lifting the gift bags, a sapphire necklace for Mom, a rare book for Dad, a framed vinyl of their wedding song. Back at the table, I set them before my parents, their faces softening with shock. "Happy anniversary," I say, standing tall. Mom's fingers tremble as she touches the necklace. Dad's eyes mist over the book. "Elise," he murmurs, voice thick. "This is beautiful." Over his shoulder, Nolan's face is unreadable, a mix of guilt and defeat. I've turned his trap into my triumph, and the weight of their betrayal feels lighter, if only for a moment. The morning sun spills through the windows of Sunny Hill Diner, casting a warm glow over the vinyl booths and checkered floor. I sit across from Mom and Dad, sipping black coffee, the bitter taste grounding me after last night's storm at La Bella Vita Trattoria. I'm 30, a marketing director from Pittsburgh, still reeling from paying the $700 bill and gifting my parents a sapphire necklace, a rare book, a framed vinyl for their 40th anniversary. Nolan's cruel words and the family's silence cut deep. But my stand shifted something. Now, in this quiet diner, the air feels different, like the first breath after a long dive. Mom's eyes, soft with regret, meet mine. "Elise, we owe you an apology for last night," she says, her voice trembling. Dad nods, his weathered hand squeezing mine. "We should have spoken up." Nolan was out of line. Their words soothe an ache I've carried too long. But a question lingers. Why did they let him push me out before I can ask? Mom leans forward, her voice low. "Nolan's in trouble, sweetheart. His construction business is on the brink of bankruptcy." The revelation hits like a cold wave. Nolan, 32, always so proud, is crumbling. Why didn't anyone tell me? I ask, my voice tight with hurt. Dad sighs, rubbing his temple. "He didn't want you to know. Elise, your success, it's hard for him. The truth stings. My brother's resentment wasn't just about me leaving Willow Creek. It's about his own struggles. I'm still processing when my phone buzzes. It's Nolan, his name on the screen startling me. "Can we grab coffee before you head back to Pittsburgh Morning Mist Cafe?" 15 minutes. His voice is hesitant, a crack in his usual armor. Against my better judgment, I agree, leaving Mom and Dad with a promise to call later. The cafe, with its exposed brick and aroma of roasted beans, is a haven of calm. Nolan's already there, 2 mugs steaming on the table. He stands awkwardly, offering a latte almond milk. "Just how I like it. I owe you," he says, staring at the floor. Not just for the bill, but for everything. I've been a jerk. His apology catches me off guard, raw and unguarded. I sit, folding my arms, not ready to forgive. "Why, Nolan, why do you hate me for leaving?" He exhales, running a hand through his hair. "It's not hate, it's fear. I stayed here, built a life, but it's falling apart. You made it out, Elise. Every time you win, it feels like I'm losing." The confession cracks my defenses, revealing a brother I barely recognize vulnerable, scared. "I never wanted that," I say, my voice softening. "I offered to help your business before." He nods, shame in his eyes. "I know, I was too proud, but I'm asking now, can you help?" The moment feels like a bridge, fragile but real. We talk for an hour, sketching ideas to save his company new marketing, local partnerships. It's not a fix, but it's a start. A week later, I'm back in Willow Creek, pulling up to Nolan and Lila's modest ranch house. The scent of grilled chicken wafts from the backyard, where their son, Caleb, 4 years old, toddles with a toy truck. Lila greets me at the door, her smile nervous. "Thanks for coming," she says, leading me inside. Dinner is simple chicken, salad, cornbread, but the warmth surprises me. Caleb climbs onto my lap, babbling about dinosaurs, his hazel eyes like Nolan's. Over dessert, Lila speaks up, her voice quiet. "I'm sorry about the anniversary dinner. I was jealous of your freedom, your career. I should have stood up for you." Her honesty disarms me, a mirror to Nolan's. "I didn't know, I admit, but I'm here now." Nolan raises his glass, a rare smile breaking through. "To family," he says. And for the first time in years, I feel included. As I drive back to my hotel, Willow Lodge, the stars glitter above the barley fields. My phone pings a text from Nolan. "Started the website changes. Thanks, sis. It's small, but it's progress. Last night's rage feels distant, replaced by a cautious hope. I came to Willow Creek expecting a fight, but I'm leaving with something better, a chance to rebuild what we lost. Can this fragile truce hold, or is it just a fleeting moment? Only time will tell. But for now, I'm holding on to it. The Pittsburgh skyline sparkles as I pull into my shady-side apartment. The city's glow a stark contrast to Willow Creek's quiet stars. I'm 30, a marketing director who drove 5 hours to face my family's rejection and came out stronger. Last night's dinner with Nolan, Lila, and their son Caleb lingers in my mind, a tentative step toward healing after years of resentment. My phone buzzes as I unpack my bag, a text from Mom lighting up the screen. "Thank you, Elise. Your brother's hopeful for the first time in months." Another follows from Nolan websites coming along. "Sis, talk Sunday." I smile, adding our call to my calendar. A group chat pings next. Nolan including me, Mom, Dad, and Lila to plan Caleb's 5th birthday. It's simple, but it feels like a door opening, a seat at the family table I fought for. Standing up to Nolan's cruelty paying that $700 bill, gifting Mom and Dad taught me something vital. My worth doesn't hinge on their approval. Family isn't about who stays or leaves. It's about choosing to show up, even when it's hard. I found peace not in winning, but in proving I belong. Poppy's journey resonates deeply in today's fractured world, where family ties often strain under the weight of differing paths and unspoken resentments. Her story teaches us a timeless lesson: standing firm in your truth, even amidst rejection, can forge unexpected bridges. By choosing dignity over bitterness, paying the $700 bill, offering heartfelt gifts, Elise transformed pain into a pathway for reconciliation. This reflects a universal truth. Our worth is not defined by others' approval, but by our courage to show up authentically. In a society quick to judge those who chase dreams or break from tradition, Elise's triumph reminds us that family bonds, though tested, can heal through grace and persistence. This story is a work of fiction created for educational and entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to attack or defame any individual, family, or organization. Any resemblance to real persons or events is purely coincidental. If this story moved you or sparked a thought, please let us know by commenting below. Your likes, shares, and subscriptions help us create more stories that inspire and entertain. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thank you for watching and being part of our community.